Hi, welcome to the Popular Podcast. My name's Philip. Let's go ahead and get into the mailbag. Billy B writes in saying, I was trying to stream the misused Highboy, but the dialogue is so fast I can't keep up with the subtitles. Any suggestions? Hi Billy, I'm a slow reader too. Here's what I'd do. A lot of people don't know this, but if you send in a handwritten letter making the request, most studios will send you a high-resolution file or a final print of just about any of their films. Simply take that, digitize it if needed, and re-encode it at 48 frames per second, then load it into a media player and play it at half speed. You'll get a nice leisurely pace that will help you keep up with the subtitles, and the film should still keep its 24 frame per second look. Since you don't understand what they're saying anyway, just mute it. Don't let the sound be an issue. Hope that helps. And now I'm using a whispering sort of tone because it's time for bed. I've started a sleep challenge through work, and I just want to keep myself accountable by making a record of my progress on this podcast, the Popular Podcast. The challenge is to see how long I can work without getting any sleep. Now, that's not really what it is. Here's what I'm focusing on as part of the challenge. Sticking to a uniform sleep schedule, that is, going to bed at a set time every night, including on weekends. The other part of the challenge is that I'm supposed to stop looking at electronics 1 hour before I go to sleep. Sometimes I don't want to look at electronics in the first place, but the sleep plan mandates that I stare at some sort of electronic device up to exactly 1 hour before I close my eyes to go to sleep. The other part of the sleep challenge is to exercise at least 30 minutes. Now, of these 3 elements of the challenge that I've listed, I'm supposed to do each at least 13 of the 21 days this challenge is scheduled for. I'm currently on the 3rd day of the plan, and I've completed 2 of the elements once, 1 of them 3 times, and 3 of them 4 times. So it's going okay, but it could be better. I'll check back in next week. It was recently Palm Sunday, so I'm going to try and read my own palm. According to some information I found on the internet, there are 4 major palm lines. Reading the passive, non-dominant hand will show inherited traits. The active dominant hand will show a turkey if you trace it on a piece of paper and add a beak and feet. So today I'll be reading my passive hand, which for me is my left. Let's start with the heart line, which is sort of near the top of the palm. Mine starts below my middle finger, which means I'm selfish when it comes to love. It can also mean I'm reserved and prefer smaller groups. That's true. I am speaking into a microphone in a room all by myself. Oh, hey, it's Clark the Roomba. Sorry, buddy, you're right. I'm not totally alone. You're here, too. Next up is the head line. Today's headline is that this line sits below the heart line. This line's pretty short for me, and it goes across the middle of my palm, which means that I tend to mull things over before coming to a decision. Fair enough. It's also pretty straight, which can mean that I'm practical and no nonsense. You know, that's true. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's nonsense. So, moving forward to the palm reading. The lifeline. I don't seem to have one of those. No, I do have one. This one's pretty long and it curves from my wrist up to near the edge of my headline, and that means I have an abundance of energy. That's me, bouncing off the walls all the time. It can also mean I'm a reliable person who can be counted on in difficult times. We'll see about that. Finally, we come to the fate line. It's sort of just there next to the lifeline. It also has different meanings associated with it. Okay, I think we're good. Before we wrap things up, there's something I need to address again this week. Again, it's really just for one person in particular, and you know who you are. Thanks for the money! Really, thank you for your payment. You handed it all over in really crisp, clean bills. And I know this is a little thing, but I'm really excited about the duffel you put the money in. I can definitely see using it again as sort of a weekender bag, hopefully sometime soon. It's always nice dealing with a professional, a punctual professional at that, so thank you. Okay, it's time for household tips. We currently have 2 trash cans in our kitchen. One is for recyclable materials, and one is for non-recyclable garbage. The recyclable can is sort of thin and tends to fill up faster. The large recycling bin provided by the city is set outside the backyard in the alley behind our house, and the gate back there has a padlock, which I don't always feel like dealing with, so I'll often let the recycling that needs to be put into the large bin build up a little more than I should before taking it out there. One thing that we do when there's too much recycling built up inside, and I haven't yet taken it out to the big bin, is to get out old retail and grocery bags that we've saved from random store visits where we didn't have reusable bags with us. We'll simply set them by the recycling can and use them to drop additional recycling into. That way, when it's time to take out the recycling, I can dump the full bag in. It's a way of reusing recyclable bags to collect more recyclables. So here's the tip. If your indoor collection container for recyclables is overflowing, use a recyclable bag to collect additional recyclables until you take the time to take them out to your primary recycling bin. Okay, that'll do it for another pop filler. Thanks for listening, and remember, you'll be fine.